Stars came out for one of Hollywood's biggest nights, the Golden Globes. But amid all the cheers and the champagne, a serious note. When three-time Oscar-winning actress Meryl Streep received a Lifetime Achievement Award, the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and paused to speak about a controversial campaign moment.
But there was one performance this year that stunned me. It sank its hooks in my heart. Not because it was good. There was nothing good about it. But it was effective, and it did its job. It made its intended audience laugh and show their teeth. It was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity to fight back. It kind of broke my heart when I saw it, and I still can't get it out of my head because it wasn't in a movie. It was real life. And this instinct to humiliate, when it's modeled by someone in the public platform, by someone powerful, it filters down into everybody's life because it kind of gives permission for other people to do the same thing. Disrespect invites disrespect. Violence incites violence. When the powerful use their position to bully others, we all lose.
Streep was referring to Donald Trump appearing to mock a disabled New York Times reporter in South Carolina in November of 2015. This morning, Trump fired back, tweeting, quote, "Meryl Streep, one of the most overrated actresses in Hollywood, doesn't know me, but attacked last night at the Golden Globes. She is a Hillary flunky who lost big. For the 100th time, I never mocked a disabled reporter, would never do that, but simply showed him groveling when he totally changed a 16-year-old story that he had written in order to make me look bad. Just more very dishonest media." Joining me now is Eugene Robinson, Washington Post columnist and MSNBC political analyst. Where to start?
Well,
the President-elect of the United States taking time to respond to Meryl Streep today.
You know, I thought it was an extraordinary moment last night. Avis and I were watching, and you know, Meryl Streep got on, and she had kind of lost her voice, but it became more powerful as she went on, and I thought it was an extraordinary moment. But then, this morning at 6:27 a.m., the President-elect decides to respond, and that's even more fascinating to me, and I'm actually writing about it for tomorrow. You know, there's a temptation to say, is this all trivial? Is Meryl Streep? There are lots of important things the President-elect is doing.
And speaking of the President-elect, here he is.
All I can say is it's very simple, very easy. Sure, I'm ready. Been ready for a while. It's going to be very, very easy to do. Yeah, very much so. A lot, but it's really a very simple process. Who? Okay. Well, we'll talk about that on Wednesday.
Is he going to be your senior advisor?
We'll see. We'll talk. One of the great men, you know that, right? One of the great, Mr. Arno. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Tremendous honor. And they all love this country. That's important.
Where are you right now on Mr. President, can you speak about something to discuss?
What?
What does this discuss? What happened?
Well, they're going to do some wonderful things in this country.
Such as?
Great things. Jobs. A lot of jobs.
Yeah, we may expand our factory that we have in California and build one either in Carolina or in Texas.
And maybe in the Midwest.
We build some Louis Vuitton products for 25 years in California, in San Dimas, and we are going to expand because of the success of the product, and we are going to do that either in Carolina or in Texas. We are looking at two possibilities, but it will be done shortly.
Mr. President, on the Affordable Care Act, some Republicans now are concerned there's no replacement plan to put in place. Are you worried that the repeal will
not even a little bit. That's going to all work out. Thank you very much, folks. See you later. We're going to be talking about it on Wednesday. Thank you.
So is there a plan now, or
Bernard Arnault.
And that was the president-elect again. Eugene, I would only interrupt you for a moment like that. He's come down earlier with Jack Ma from China. That's Bernardo Hinault of LVMH, the many brands of luxury French products.
Continues, right? Jack Ma, Bernard Arnault, who was just
some of the richest people in the world are coming through that.
Richest people. Wonderful.
Talking about jobs. So.
Right.
To pick up where you left off, it was hard to hear those questions.
Well, that's an illustration, though. The president-elect has a lot of things to do, right? And in addition to these meetings, he's got nominees pending on the Hill. He's got an administration to put together. He's got plans to make for day one, day two.
He's got a speech to write.
He's got a speech to write. Right, exactly. He's going to be inaugurated in a week or so. And meanwhile, he gets up at 6:27 in the morning and he tweets back this sort of ridiculous response to Meryl Streep, calling her the most overrated actress in Hollywood, when in fact she's the most acclaimed actress in Hollywood history, having been nominated for the Academy Award 19 times, which is more than anybody else. And it's this instinct, this reflex, that whenever he's criticized, to sort of hit back almost reflexively, is not just fascinating, but it's something that we need to look at. We can't just ignore and say this is just trivia. I think we need to look at it, and we need to absorb the fact that this is the president-elect. I mean, this is how he reacts.
Now, there is controversy within the news media, and talking about Meryl Streep. She was also talking about the Committee to Protect Journalists, the need to support this organization. Full disclosure, I've always been a supporter of this organization, and it is a nonprofit that defends journalists in totalitarian regimes. And they did say at their dinner in November, right before Thanksgiving, that for the first time they're also going to turn their focus on the United States, that they see challenges here at home to journalism and to the freedom of the press.
Yes, and there are different kinds of challenges, right? And, you know, there are countries in which reporters literally risk life and limb every time they sort of just for trying to do their job.
Or are jailed in Egypt or Turkey or other places.
Here, I would argue, and this is, again, mostly about the Trump or the incoming Trump administration, but not entirely. I would argue that over the years, the sort of reporters' access to information, access to officials has been shrunk and continues to shrink, and increasingly we sort of get herded into places where officials want us to be. We are fed information officials want to feed us. People who leak information are actively prosecuted, almost persecuted. And look, it's not just about Trump. This is about the Obama administration, about a succession of administrations that have sort of restricted our space in which to do our jobs. And so I think that is an important issue. And then comes Trump, who has just blatantly threatened that he wants to crack down on the press. Every tweet ends in dishonest media, more bad media, whatever, helping to create this atmosphere about the free press. And look, we're enshrined in the First Amendment for a reason. I mean, we're part of this democracy.
And on Wednesday, he's going to have his first press conference since July. During that press conference, it's when he said, Russia, why don't you go find Hillary Clinton's emails, inviting them to hack, if you will, taking it as a joke, repeatedly, over and over again, referring to WikiLeaks as providing important information, but showing extreme sensitivity to the results of this intelligence report. All that said, the lack of paperwork, the lack of disclosure of financial entanglements, foreign investments by these billionaires who are nominated for cabinet posts is not a trivial matter, because it's never before been the case, in my experience, where nominations go to the Hill before the background checks are done.
Nor in mine. I've never seen it before. Administrations don't send nominees to the Hill before the background checks because they don't want the embarrassment and the potential scandal of a sitting cabinet official who was later found to have some compromising relationship or conflict, or to have done something with his or her finances or whatever in the past that is a real embarrassment. There's a huge potential for that, given that we're talking about billionaires like Wilbur Ross and DeVos and others.
Steve Mnuchin for Treasury.
Have very, very, very complicated financial lives.
Eugene Robinson, I look forward to reading your column on the Washington Post.
Well, thank you.
More to come. Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.